Hello from Gamma. I am Lakshman Maaheshwary and today we are going to talk about a very important topic. How to effectively read newspaper for competitive exams. The dictionary definition of newspaper says that it is a printed publication consisting of folded, unstapled sheets and containing news, articles, advertisements and correspondence. So what is the importance of newspaper? Well, it is a consolidated and categorized document which is a rich source of authentic, noteworthy information about recent events. These days, many of the exams ask questions based on current affairs. Hence, newspaper provide us with the relevant information. Now there are some issues with the newspaper. It is a bulky document and it takes time to read it completely. When you start reading the newspaper, typically in the beginning, it will take approximately 1.5 to 2 hours. Also, there are a lot of irrelevant news from the examination point of view. Then, there is trouble retaining the information till the examination actually happens. The first step in the preparation of examination is selecting a newspaper. What should your selection be based upon? Well, you should look at the newspaper and the kind of news they report, the degree of independent investigation they put into it, and the objectivity in reporting the news. Also, the quality of language used is very important. For examination purposes, our recommendation is the Hindu or the Indian Express. Now, the hardest part about reading the newspaper is sorting the news. You have to be very careful about what you mark as relevant and what you mark as irrelevant. Now, this is exactly what we are going to learn today, segregating the news. You have to understand that not all articles are equally important. Further, some articles may have only a very specific information of any real utility. You have to learn to differentiate, which can save a lot of time and effort, and hence you will have less portion for revision. We have categorized the non-essential news in 4 major categories. The first of them is nameless or individual level news. Second, highly localized or limited geographical implication. Third, fleeting or temporary events. And fourth, political or propaganda articles. Let us talk about the nameless or individual level news. Well, the reality of the life is, if no famous personality is involved, the news is not important. For example, news of accidents, heist, robberies, kidnapping, injury, murder, deaths, quarrels, altercation, imprisonment, court cases, fines, penalty, etc. Then there may be some highly localized or news which have limited geographical implications. These are local news with no national or international importance. For example, local concerts, inaugurations, protests, strikes, etc. They may also include highly local level political events. You would also encounter some fleeting or temporary events, which are momentary flare ups that subside. They have no long term relevance. Unless they happen close to the examination date, they are not noteworthy. They may include social or political issues which get a lot of media coverage and attention for a short span of time, but later everyone basically forgets about them. The bulkiest portion of the news that you would encounter are political or propaganda articles. You have to learn to differentiate between news and noise. You have to learn to distinguish between official statements from political jibes or promises. Only statements made from official forum count. You can ignore all the other political news. Having talked about what is not important, let us look at a few sections which you must always read. The editorial section in any newspaper is very important. It provides in-depth analysis of issues. It also includes opinions and auxiliary facts which are usually not included in the news reporting. Further, even if we have not followed an issue in the past, it could make up for the past lapses as the editorial section is in greater detail. Also, it provides good material for essay writing. Another important section is the world news. It is relatively a smaller section, but it is important consolidation of world issues. It also highlights our relationships with other countries. While reading an article, you might find that it is not important, but then you can always take away a smaller detail. You must learn to read between the lines. There can be some terms, abbreviations, names and designations, or organizations which you can always note from a larger news. Although the entire news might not be important, but these smaller takeaways can help you. Now, merely reading the newspaper will not help you unless you make preparations for revisions. For any typical examination, you will be required to go through the news of 6 to 8 months. Unless and until you make preparations for revisions, you will not be able to remember all the articles that you have read over the months. We need to plan and put in place a system to categorize and summarize the information that we gather from the newspapers. I am proposing one such system which can help you. Make a separate docket on important events, people, and organizations. A binder file can be useful. You can put in the static data in the first few lines. Then, as and when the time goes on, you can add the current information. Hence, when the actual examination time arrives, within a few sheets, you will have the complete information about the event, place, or organization. I would stress here again, please do not underestimate the utility of revision. Unless you revise, the entire effort that you have put through the months will not bear any fruit. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and share, and keep watching for more useful videos and information.